How's it? Kevin Ace here from the old Parakao store. This week we're just going to do a little video on our Model A. We drove it back from Auckland, 120 miles I think it was, and when it got back it broke down and wouldn't run again. So all sorts of drama. So we're just doing a bit of a video and getting ready for our drags this weekend. Probably starting to get into winter, not that you'd think so yet, but probably only get another maybe 1 or 2, 3 maybe drags at the most. So we had like everything around here is old and crusty, so the old leveling bar shit itself last time, so the track was a little bit lumpy, but we've gone and welded all that up. This week's shout out I wanted to do is not a YouTube one, but just to all the guys that help us out around here. Our dirt drags are free, we don't charge anything. You can come and have fun. Our only rule really is don't be an idiot, which is sort of hard to keep to. Yeah, it's free to watch, free to, and you know, we wouldn't be able to do it without the likes of Dixon's quarries that come and bulldozed our track in for us, and Linton Goodwin leaves his digger here for us, and Chris Faber, Pedro McCarty and them Carter Metal, Craig McMillan, and lots of people. Volatich Contracting help mulch the paddocks, and John and Christine Peterson, and there's lots of locals help us out on the day. All the Thirsty Thursday guys that help us out at the drags, and might give them one free beer if they're lucky. Yeah, it's all about having a bit of fun, and without people helping us, it wouldn't be happening. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that gives us a hand, and I hope everyone has a good time. And Hayden McGrath for Mowing.
Running out of gas.
Down the Model A, it's got a little crack in the manifold I think, so it had to stay at home. So we've got a crack here in this manifold. Plus when we did eventually get it going, it seems to be leaking a lot of air around the gasket. So I think it's not firing because it's sucking too much air. We've got new pits, we've got new bits for it, so we're going to try and carefully, because I've done this before and it's easy to break the manifold with this right hand drive One's because of the steering. It's hard to get that manifold sitting in on there. And you get it in the wrong angle and it'll just snap it. So we'll give it a go and see if we can get that one apart and rebuild it. So I found another inlet manifold lying around that looks in pretty good shape. So we'll clean that up, and then we've got another Model A motor over here with that's just sitting on there too, so I might even look at that one. Exhaust and manifold, and then what else we got? So we've ended up with two candidates that are that one looks better. It's probably about the same nick though, just needs to clean up. So we're going to rip that one off, see if it's in better nick. Right, I think I found the problem. I'm new to Model A's, but so these ports here have got a sleeve for a washer. These ports here have got a sleeve for a washer, and I'm thinking on the probably the older manifolds they never had a port, so you couldn't put the sleeve in. But this manifold's cracked, so I'm going to try and use this manifold. But obviously we've broken those nuts off because they always do, so we're going to try and get them out. But I think our big problem was there's only 4 of these, so they only had these sleeves in the exhaust manifolds, and then in your inlet there wasn't one, which only gives you a very, very little amount of sealing around your inlet manifold. And this was owned by a real old guy that sold it to an old guy, and it's sort of been parked up, probably hasn't done that many Ks in it or miles, you know. So it probably was running perfectly fine, but I think our 120 mile trek has loosened up the manifold or something along those lines, and we ended up with vacuum leaks. And you can see here where the exhaust manifold was leaking. So I'm going to use the other manifold that hasn't got the groove in it, but I'm going to cut some little, a bit of exhaust tubing that'll fit in there. Actually, that'll just about fit right in there, it will fit. And then trim them off to the block, and that'll just give us a little bit more beef around the manifold, and then I'll seal it. I haven't got new gaskets, so I'm just going to reuse the old ones, and hopefully that will stop our exhaust leaks and manifold leaks. And so it may, if you can see in there, there's a little wee hole somewhere for focus, and then, which I'm not sure goes right through, but I'm sure we've got vacuum leaks and that's had it anyway, so it's going. But you can see it looks like the cracks open up from the vibration of 120 miles. So we're going to do all that. Hopefully we'll be on the road again. So I put new manifold on it. I had to find like 20 bits of copper pipe to fit on there for this. I'll have to replace later. So I'm hoping it was a crack in here and the manifold was a bit loose, so we tightened everything up. Exhaust manifold. So it should sound better if it goes. First attempt. So, petrol out there again. How much petrol is in there? Yeah, see, it's fucking quite weird. Well, she still just doesn't want to go. I'm not sure. It's got spark petrol. No chance of a manifold leak. 6 hours later, and it's running. And we sorted out all the little problems that were wrong with it, but the main thing was the advance, we had to change where the rotor was, so it must have slipped somewhere or other, I'm thinking. Going now.
Okay, we're gonna put that
Yep. Sweet! I love Model A's again. I hated them for like 2 days. So we got the old Model A running again. And went out to start it the next morning, wouldn't go again. So what we put it down to, the main issue was most likely the condenser, but we went through everything. So we ran new wires, we changed the coil around the other way, so when you turn the key on, the coil's live. Right? We got rid of the bottom base plate and we just ran a wire straight to the points. There was about 3 different ways for it to get connected up and potential to lose voltage. We put new plugs in it. And now she runs like a top. Yeah, it wasn't one thing really, it was just everything. And we couldn't time it because someone had drilled out the base plate and put a different set of points in it, not in the correct place. So when we went to time it how you're supposed to, according to all the books, the rotor would never be in the right place. So that was another little curveball. But yeah, she's going good. So I've got an original base plate. I'm just going to order up some another set of points and another condenser, and that should be all good. But at the moment she's running mint like it is. So taking it to town to get beer and supplies 3 times, and starts every time. It runs real good. So yeah, we got there in the end.
Bye.